up, guys? Hello and good morning. I hope you guys appreciated the stream last night. It was a lot of information. I tried to explain it as best as I could. Um, if you guys um, would like a copy of my PowerPoint presentation, I've uploaded it to my Google Drive where you can download it for free. And I've left the link in my community tab, so anyone who has the link will be able to download it and have access to it. That way, you can go over it yourself if you want to and understand it a little bit better. Because I was trying to do the best I could. You know, it was a lot of information. I hope you guys understood what I was trying to say. Basically, that Ripple is like taking over Africa through MFS Africa and the Pan African Payment Settlement System. But in this video, we're going to be talking about Enosys, and I'm going to try to provide some liquidity on the FLR network. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So if you're not already doing so, make sure you're following me on Twitter at RPReloaded so you can get my latest updates and retweets of things that I think are interesting in the crypto space. And also follow Enosys on Twitter at Enosys_global. So Enosys says the Enosys DEX is now live on the FLR network with FLR eUSDT liquidity pools at dex.enosys.global/pool. Swaps will be disabled for a short time to now allow for initial liquidity to be added. FLR provided to the liquidity pool will continue to receive delegation and FLR drop rewards, which is pretty cool. You know, you're providing liquidity, you're getting your FLR delegation rewards and your monthly FLR drops. Hold on, let me mute my mic. I keep forgetting about that. That's cool, man. That they said that Enosys Loans offers interest-free loans. Like that's great. Like I can't wait for the full product suite to launch. You know. So Hugo says, congratulations to the team at Enosys Global. Bannock says, I have no words. We finally have launched the initial suite of products on the Flare network. So proud of the entire team behind Enosys Global. And of course, grateful to all of them, the community, the advisors, and everyone involved. This is only the beginning. Enosys says swaps have now been enabled for Flare eUSDT on Enosys DEX. eUSDT bridge to Flare networks through the Enosys bridge can now be used to purchase Flare. So yeah, you can swap directly now on the decentralized exchange. What up, Crypto Jake? I appreciate you for joining this stream with me. So now, yeah, we can swap our USDT for Flare on the DEX now. And when people swap in and out of the DEX, and you're providing liquidity, you will be able to earn those fees um, in the form of liquidity pool tokens, which you can then stake within Flare farms to earn that yield in Apsis. Enosys says, as of writing, there have been almost 500,000 USDT bridged to the Flare networks through the Enosys bridge. We have now increased the daily limit to 100K USDT. Happy bridging, everyone. So yeah, man, the bridge is like a lot of money is being sent through the across the bridge to the Flare network, man. It's like it's growing fast. It also says the Ethereum to Flare network bridge is now live at bridge.enosis.global, allowing USDT to be bridged to the Flare network as eUSDT. The daily limit set to 50K with a minimum transaction of 100 USDT. This limit will be increased if consistently hit. It was already reached, so yeah, they just increased it to 100K. We will give time for initial liquidity to bridge as we begin the launch of the Enosys product suite to Flare. The first Enosys liquidity pool on Flare networks will be Flare eUSDT. Flare in this liquidity pool will continue to receive delegation and Flare drop rewards while providing liquidity. Huge thank you to our initial validator set, Nortso at Norso, AlgoTech at FTSO_AU, at Common Prefix, and the XDC Foundation. Your hard work and flexibility have been instrumental in getting us to this point, and we can't wait to keep building with you. That's amazing. Dan Rocky says, total value locked on Flare Network after Novus Global went live with the Flare eUSDT liquidity pool went straight to heaven. Keep building. Like look how fast. Look, it went straight up. This is damn near. It's probably at a million. It's like this is $1 million protocol right here. It just once the bridge launched to the Flare network, like people just started pouring their money in, and it's gonna keep growing because their Enosys is plugged in with fire blocks, and institutional money is gonna come into this protocol too. Enosys says the Apsis Flare liquidity pool has been added to the Enosys DEX with the associated farm pool live on Enosys farms. Swaps will be disabled for a short time to now allow for initial liquidity to be added. Flare provided to the liquidity pool will continue to receive delegation and Flare drop rewards. So yeah, so we got two pools on the Flare network. We got Flare USDT and we got Flare Apsis. So you can put your abscess to work too. You don't have to have it just sitting there. You're providing liquidity with your Flare USDT. You're getting those liquidity pool tokens. You stake those liquidity pool tokens to earn abscess. Then once you get that abscess, you can put that abscess in a liquidity pool too and earn liquidity pool tokens in this pool and farm those too. So it's like, you got your tokens working like 3 or 4 different ways, man. And this will also, I believe increase the demand for Flare because um, I'm gonna need more Flare because I'm gonna need Flare for both of these pools, both Flare USDT and Flare Apsis. Liquidity can be provided at dex.enosys.global/pool. Liquidity pool tokens can subsequently be staked in the farm at Flare Farm. Bannock said, "This is just insane. The Enosys Global Dex is in the top 100 dexes in the world today based on Gecko Terminal. Thanks, everybody." Yeah, man. Just that quick, man. Um, Enosys Global is like rising to the top 100, and they just launched not too long ago. This is how you know that a lot of people support the Flare network and the Flare community. Enosys says total liquidity for the Enosys DEX on the Flare network has now crossed the $2 million mark, representing a new all-time high for total value locked and liquidity on Flare. Wow, just that fast. $2 million, $2 million in money has been put into this protocol. And that's not even institutional money, man. This protocol may be $100 million protocol. $2 million, man, locked in. Let's continue. So Enosys says swaps have now been enabled for Apsis and Flare on the Enosys DEX. If you have not been able to farm any Apsis yet, it can now be purchased with Flare. So yeah, man, you can buy Apsis tokens directly on the decentralized exchange now. Um, and you know me, like I got to get a whole one. I already got one whole SFIN, so now I got to get one whole Apsis. Enosys says, we are excited to be submitting a request for the Enosys DEX to be listed on CoinMarketCap. Soon, users will be able to watch our progress on one of the largest trackers in the world. Flare community says people need to know, and if they don't already, they will soon. Yeah, because Apsis and all of that's probably going to be listed on CoinMarketCap real soon. Denasimos says making good progress with total value locked growth on Flare Networks and Enosys Global. Still lots of room to grow with less than 1% of the circulating Flare supply participating in liquidity pools. Don't worry if you aren't interested in the Flare eUSDT or Flare Apsis liquidity pools. We have more coming. So yeah, man, $2 million locked into the protocol, and that's only like 1% of the circulating supply of Flare. And more people are going to be participating and jumping into these pools. I believe, we'll get 5% of the circulated supply, maybe 10% of the circulated supply. Who knows? But the total value locked is growing fast. Now, Enosys says if you use an Ori multi-sig wallet on Songbird, you must submit a receiving address for the DFLR Helion airdrops on Flare. In your Songbird network Ori Safe, you must open the airdrop dashboard Safe app, which will allow you to submit your preferred receiving address. If you do not perform this operation before the airdrop, any DFLR Helion that will be claimable by your Ori safe address will not be recoverable. So this is for only this right here is only for people that use the Ori multi-sig wallet. I use the Bifrost wallet, so this doesn't really apply to me. But I just wanted to put this out there in case anybody's using this wallet, and also to let you guys know that the DFLR airdrop is coming real soon. Yeah, so Huddle King says, if you're holding XBuy Decent Wallet, will you still be able to receive the Helion airdrop? The National says, as long as you can connect your wallet to Flare, you will be fine. Chaos Finazwelt says, what is Ori? Do regular ETH wallets, MetaMask, need to do anything specific? The National says, if you aren't using Ori, then you don't have to worry about this. So yeah, we don't have to. If you're using the Bifrost wallet, you don't have to worry about that. I just wanted to let you guys know in case anybody out there is using the Ori wallet. Now, Gnosis says over the next few days, we will be performing a test of the DFLR snapshot, airdrop, and burn claim mechanism on Coston 2. This is only a test. If you are currently holding XFi in your wallet or in one of our pools, holding DFLR in your wallet, or have Canary Dollar staked in the XFi stability pool, you will receive T-Air to your wallet on Coston. I guess T-Air stands for test airdrop. At that point, we will release a link that will allow you to burn that T-Air and claim T-Dust, TDUST. TDUST can then be held in your Coston 2 wallet or placed in one of the pools on Coston 2, which will be released to test the multipliers. Once we have confirmed that all went well, we will then simulate the first monthly snapshot slash airdrop, where you will again receive T-Air, simulating both your XFi and Helion shares of the first monthly drop, which can be burned to claim TDUST. So I think they're giving us monthly DFLR drops. I thought we were gonna get it all at one time, but it might be monthly airdrops. This is only a test. This does not mean that the balance you will receive during the actual snapshot and airdrop will be the same. We are simply testing the mechanics in front end. If you are holding your stake in an Ori wallet, please make sure that you have submitted your preferred receive address if you wish to participate. Thank you in advance for everyone who helped to test this process and provides troubleshooting and feedback. So yeah, man, they're getting ready. The DFLR airdrop is coming like real soon, so you want to get ready for that. It also says the test is in progress. Everyone should have now received T-Air to their address on Coston 2. I checked mine, but I didn't receive mine. Users who wish to test should connect to airdrop.enosys.global on Coston 2 and perform the burn/claim in order to receive their TDUST. These are the contract addresses for both T-Flare, T-Air, and TDUST. Please ignore that the user interface refers to DFLR and Helion. These are not the tokens being used in the test. If you want to stake that T-Dust in the C-Flare T-Dust liquidity pool, at dex.enosis.global/pool on the Coston 2 network, you are welcome to, or you may hold it in your wallet. Either one will be captured in the next phase of the test. So yeah, if you have these test tokens in your wallet, you can go ahead and test out providing liquidity in the pools on the Coston network so you can get familiar with how everything works. Thank you to everyone who helps us test and provides feedback. Did you guys receive the T-Air in your Bifrost wallet? I switched my wallet over to developer mode, but I don't see anything in there. Didn't receive it. Um, Let me know in the comments. I can post this. I'm gonna post these in the chat. The contract addresses, but they have a like help guide, and Flare Enosys has a guide with all the contract addresses that you need. They have T-Air and T-Dust. I posted T-Air twice. Let me get this T-Dust real quick. You can add both of these tokens to your Bifrost wallet on the Coston network. So Shahid123 Galaxy says, I've been holding XFi on Flare Farms. On Flare Finance. I'm using developer mode on Bifrost to access Coston 2, but I don't see any T-Air. Well, the Nasimos said the Explorer doesn't like the T-Air token. Just check the front end on airdrop.enosis.global. Let me just click that real quick so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is the claim page. Um, so this is where you would claim your Helion once you get your DFLR. Um, you would burn the DFLR and then you'd be able to claim your Helion. Um, it says right here that the next DFLR airdrop is in 4 days, but I'm not 100% sure on that because they said, this is just like a test. They're only doing the test right now, but it could be in the next 4 days. So, you might want to get ready and get familiar with all of this. Also, Enosys says BitTrue has always been a friend to Enosys and the Flare Network community. We are very happy to work with BitTrue for the first official listing of Helion. So yeah, guys, Helion, when it drops, will be listed on BitTrue. So you will have a centralized exchange listing of Helion, which is great. You'll be able to, if you want to, you can swap that out. You can buy it or sell it or whatever. So that's cool. It's always good to have exchange listings because that provides liquidity and it also exposes new customers to the Enosys community. People are gonna see that this new token was listed and they're gonna be like, "What is Helion? What is Enosys?" And then they're gonna check it out and they're gonna find out about Flare, Songbird, and XFi, SFIN, Apsis, all that. So this is great. So when the airdrop happens, um, then we'll get a token listing, which is great. Now Nebuchadnezzar had his mind blown because Apsis, the current price is $218,000. Will we get to 500,000? I don't know, but you can check the price of Apsis at the Gecko terminal. The current price of Apsis is $250,000. Um, will it stay there? Will it go higher? I don't know because when SFIN dropped, the price of SFIN was $1 million, and it dropped all the way down to like right now it's like around $500, $600. Um, I don't know if it's gonna go lower or if it's gonna go higher, but if it goes higher, that's great. I still got to get a whole one. But if it goes down, I will wait until it drops all the way down this time, because last time, I bought an SFIN at $2,500 or at $2,000 because I thought it wasn't gonna go any lower, but it dropped all the way to 500. So if this token drops, I'll wait for it to do the same, and then I'll buy a whole one. Maybe a couple of them. But if it doesn't and it stays at 250,000, that's great. I'm not complaining. I'll just continue to provide liquidity and farm to try to get as much Apsis as I can, because there's only 15,000 Apsis tokens. So my goal is to try to get at least one whole Apsis, just like I got one SFIN. So yeah, I'll post a link to this website, and you guys can save it in your bookmarks. That way, you can check the price of Apsis whenever you want at a Gecko terminal. Nebuchadnezzar posted a Enosys global survey. He says the current price of the Apsis token is around $243,000. Where do you see the price of Apsis going within the first week of the Helion launch? And 45% of people that took this survey believe that the Apsis token is going to be less than $100,000. And I kind of believe the same thing too, because like I said, when SFIN first dropped, the token was $1 million, man. $1 million. And it dropped all the way down to where it's at now, which is like $500, $600. And if it does, I'll be able to scoop up a whole one. If it doesn't, then that's great. That means that there's a lot of demand for the Apsis token, and the price is like stable. But I'll just continue to watch the price, like I've been doing. I believe that SFIN and Apsis, I believe that these tokens are six-figure tokens. I really believe that. What's up, Focus? I see you, man. I appreciate you. Damn, Apsis started at 20 million. That's crazy. I believe that these tokens are going to go back up that high too. I really believe that. Because there's a very, very small supply of these tokens, right? And the holders of these tokens will be able to utilize them once the APY cloud launches. So that's gonna be like utility. A lot of people are not gonna have these tokens, which I think is gonna drive a lot of demand for them once the APY cloud launches, because the holders of the governance tokens will be able to earn that yield from the APY cloud, and they're going to be able to get that yield in like different currencies. That's crazy. The whole time we've been farming on the Songbird network, which is over a year now, the APY cloud has been collecting gas fees from everybody using the platform, and a portion of those gas fees have been sent to the APY cloud, just collecting them up. And so once the APY cloud launches, I'll be able to stake that SFIN and earn that yield. So that's why I tell you guys to continue to accumulate. Price doesn't matter right now. What matters is how much SFIN and how much Apsis do you have. That's what matters. you know. So yeah, guys, continue to accumulate. And so with that said, I'm gonna try to provide some liquidity in the FLR USDT liquidity pool. I won't be able to go all in right now because I have 15 I have $1,500, no, $1,300 in wrap FLR, and to provide liquidity, you have to have the value equal on both sides. So that I would need 1,300 in USDT, and I can't do that right now. So I'm just gonna do a little test in this video so you guys can see how I'm providing liquidity. You can understand how it works, and you'll be able to do the same. I'm gonna play this video for you guys so you can get a better understanding of what liquidity pools are and how they work. Like, this is a great this video right here. If you're not subscribed to Finematics, this is a great channel because they explain like everything DeFi, man. So yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick and I'm gonna play this video on how do liquidity pools work. Focus. Apsis was YFIN, I believe. Yeah, Apsis. So DFLR is the airdrop. We're gonna swap the DFLR for Helion, which was formerly YFLR, right? And then YFIN is like SFIN, but they changed YFIN to Apsis. Does that make sense? So Apsis is the primary governance token, and Helion is the secondary governance token. Apsis is like SFIN, and Helion is like XFi. I hope that made sense. So yeah, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick and then I'm gonna play this video for you guys.
We're told that success.
Liquidity pools was Banco. So what are liquidity pools? How do they work? And why do we even need them in decentralized finance? Also, what are the differences between liquidity pools across different protocols, such as Uniswap, Balancer, or Curve? We'll be going through all of this in this video. Before we start, if you're new to DeFi, you may want to watch my introduction to decentralized finance video first. Also, you may want to subscribe to this channel for more DeFi-related content. Alright, so let's talk about liquidity pools. Liquidity pools, in essence, are pools of tokens that are locked in a smart contract. They are used to facilitate trading by providing liquidity and are extensively used by some of the decentralized exchanges, aka DEXs. One of the first projects that introduced liquidity pools was Bancor, but they became widely popularized by Uniswap. Before we explain how liquidity pools work under the hood and what automated market making is, let's try to understand why we even need them in the first place. If you're familiar with any standard crypto exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, you may have seen that their trading is based on the order book model. This is also the way traditional stock exchanges such as New York Stock Exchange or Nasdaq work. In this order book model, buyers and sellers come together and place their orders. Buyers, aka bidders, try to buy a certain asset for the lowest price possible, whereas sellers try to sell the same asset for as high as possible. For trades to happen, both buyers and sellers have to converge on the price. This can happen by either a buyer bidding higher or a seller lowering their price. But what if there is no one willing to place their orders at a fair price level? What if there are not enough coins that you want to buy? This is where market makers come to play. In essence, market makers are entities that facilitate trading by always willing to buy or sell a particular asset. By doing that, they provide liquidity, so the users can always trade and they don't have to wait for another counterparty to show up. Okay, so why we can't just reproduce something like this in decentralized finance? The answer is we can. It would be just really slow, expensive, and pretty much always result in poor user experience. The main reason for this is the fact that the order book model relies heavily on having a market maker or multiple market makers willing to always make the market in a certain asset. Without market makers, an exchange becomes instantly illiquid and it's pretty much unusable for normal users. On top of that, market makers usually track the current price of an asset by constantly changing their prices, which results in a huge number of orders and order cancellations that are being sent to an exchange. Ethereum, with a current throughput of around 12 to 15 transactions per second and a block time between 10 and 19 seconds, is not really a viable option for an order book exchange. On top of that, every interaction with a smart contract costs a gas fee, so market makers would go bankrupt by just updating their orders. How about the second layer scaling then? Some of the second layer scaling projects like Loopring look promising, but even they are still dependent on market makers and they can face liquidity issues. On top of that, if a user wants to make only a single trade, they would have to move their funds in and out of the second layer, which adds 2 extra steps to their process. This is exactly why there was a need to invent something new that can work well in the decentralized world, and this is where liquidity pools come to play. Okay, so now that we understand why we need liquidity pools in decentralized finance, let's see how they actually work. In its basic form, a single liquidity pool holds 2 tokens, and each pool creates a new market for that particular pair of tokens. DAI-ETH can be a good example of a popular liquidity pool on Uniswap. When a new pool is created, the first liquidity provider is the one that sets the initial price of the assets in the pool. The liquidity provider is incentivized to supply an equal value of both tokens in the pool. If the initial price of the tokens in the pool diverges from the current global market price, it creates an instant arbitrage opportunity that can result in lost capital for the liquidity provider. This concept of supplying tokens in a correct ratio remains the same for all the other liquidity providers that are willing to add more funds to the pool later. When liquidity is supplied to a pool, the liquidity provider, LP, receives special tokens called LP tokens in proportion to how much liquidity they supplied to the pool. When a trade is facilitated by the pool, a 0.3% fee is proportionally distributed amongst all the LP token holders. If the liquidity provider wants to get their underlying liquidity back plus any accrued fees, they must burn their LP tokens. Each token swap that a liquidity pool facilitates results in a price adjustment according to a deterministic pricing algorithm. This mechanism is also called an automated market maker, AMM, and liquidity pools across different protocols may use a slightly different algorithm. Basic liquidity pools, such as those used by Uniswap, use a constant product market maker algorithm that makes sure that the product of the quantities of the 2 supplied tokens always remains the same. On top of that, because of the algorithm, a pool can always provide liquidity no matter how large a trade is. The main reason for this is that the algorithm asymptotically increases the price of the token as the desired quantity increases. The math behind the constant product market maker is pretty interesting, but to make sure this video is not too long, I'll save it for another time. The main takeaway here is that the ratio of the tokens in the pool dictates the price. So if someone, let's say, buys ETH from a DAI ETH pool, they reduce the supply of ETH and add the supply of DAI, which results in an increase in the price of ETH and a decrease in the price of DAI. How much the price moves depends on the size of the trade in proportion to the size of the pool. The bigger the pool is in comparison to a trade, the lesser the price impact, aka slippage, occurs. So large pools can accommodate bigger trades without moving the price too much. Because larger liquidity pools create less slippage and result in a better trading experience, some protocols, like Balancer, started incentivizing liquidity providers with extra tokens for supplying liquidity to certain pools. This process is called liquidity mining, and we talked about it in our yield farming video. The concepts behind liquidity pools and automated market making are quite simple, yet extremely powerful, as we don't have to have a centralized order book anymore, and we don't have to rely on external market makers to constantly keep providing liquidity to an exchange. The liquidity pools that we just described are used by Uniswap, and they are the most basic forms of liquidity pools. Other projects iterated on this concept and came up with a few interesting ideas. Curve, for example, realized that the automated market-making mechanism behind Uniswap doesn't work very well for assets that should have a very similar price, such as stablecoins or different flavors of the same coin, like WETH or SETH. Curve pools, by implementing a slightly different algorithm, are able to offer lower fees and lower slippage when exchanging these tokens. The other idea for different liquidity pools came from Balancer, that realized that we don't have to limit ourselves to having only 2 assets in a pool, and in fact, Balancer allows for as many as 8 tokens in a single liquidity pool. And of course, like with everything in DeFi, we have to remember about potential risks. Besides our standard DeFi risks, like smart contract bugs, admin keys, and systemic risks, we have to add 2 new ones: impermanent loss and the liquidity pool hacks. More on this in the next videos. So what do you think about liquidity pools, and what DeFi concept would you like me to talk about next? Comment down below. Also, check out my other videos on decentralized finance, and as always, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more DeFi content. Thanks for watching.
If growth is your goal, and I would guess that it is, let me tell you what I recently learned about Grammarly Business.
So yeah, guys, that is a great video explaining liquidity pools. I will post the link to this video in the chat so you can watch it on your own. That way, you will have a better understanding of liquidity pools. But one of the main takeaways from this video is when you provide liquidity, you have to have equal value on both sides of the token pair. So if you put in $1,000 worth of FLR, you need to have $1,000 worth of eUSDT on the other side when you provide liquidity. And so that's the main thing that I wanted you to get out of this video. As people swap in and out of these pairs on the DEX, you'll be able to earn liquidity pool tokens, and then you'll be able to stake those liquidity pool tokens to earn that yield in Apsis. And so, like I said, I won't be able to go all in this video, provide liquidity because I recently took out a crypto loan to buy the dip in Algorand. Like I took out a nice size loan and it's paying off because Algorand is starting to go back up a little bit. Somebody told me I should sell all my Algorand. I'm like, nah, man. I don't know if you guys seen it, but Algorand is partnering up with the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, just like Ripple is. So Algorand's gonna be working with derivatives. So I think that's great. And if Algorand goes down more, I'll buy more. Like I'm getting close to 100,000 Algorand. That's my goal. But yeah. So let's provide some liquidity. 1 second, guys. What's up, Tavari? And I see you. Appreciate you joining the stream. D, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining the stream, man. I'm just about to provide an example on how to provide liquidity in these liquidity pools. 1 second. That's right, Focus. But I believe in the future that they will have a way where we can transfer our governance tokens across both networks. So you may be able to use your Helion and Apsis on uh, on the Songbird network and vice versa. What just happened? So something else I wanted to show you guys. Um, Bifrost now has a built-in on-ramp where you can buy Songbird and Flare directly in through your wallet. So you don't have to like trade it for anything else. Like you can buy a lot of your favorite tokens directly. Let me show you this. So yeah, this right here, Bifrost Wallet says, we're thrilled to partner with Topper by Uphold, our first fiat to crypto on ramp. You can now buy assets like Flare, Songbird, and XRP directly with credit and debit cards. So you can buy your favorite tokens directly through your Bifrost wallet now. You can buy XDC, you can buy USDT, Ether, Flare, Songbird, XRP, all from your wallet. That's crazy. So now, like, you don't have to, buy Songbird on Bitrue and send it to your Bifrost wallet. You can just buy it directly through the wallet. So to provide liquidity, I'm gonna need some USDT and I didn't, shout out to D, man. NYC is just so strict when it comes to like their regulations. Like they don't allow a lot of things. Like certain exchanges will not allow you to register if you're from New York. Like it's crazy, man. If you want to be successful in crypto, you may have to get out of New York. I'm just being real. That's crazy though. But I'm gonna try to buy some USDT, and I'm also gonna need some Ethereum to cover the gas fees for the bridge. So you click the middle icon in the middle of the screen and you select buy, right? Then select the token that you're gonna buy. I'm gonna buy some USDT. Um, there's a fee, as you can see. If I was to buy 100, um, if I was to buy 100, I would only get 96 USDT. So I need a little bit more than that. So yeah, I need about 100. So I'm gonna buy 104, and that's gonna give me 100 USDT. Yeah, man, we need clarity ASAP. So these jurisdictions will stop restricting retail customers. It's almost like New York doesn't want people to get rich. It's crazy. A lot of people don't want us to get rich, like the SEC and everybody. That's why they're trying so hard to delay this crypto space. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to purchase this now. This is my first time doing it. So this is the topper thing. It's showing that if I was to get 104, I would only get 99. So I need 100. That way, I can put $100 worth of flare on the other side of the liquidity pool pair, and I won't have to worry about the impermanent loss. The main thing is you got to provide equal liquidity on both sides of the pair. So as you can see, it says if I was to buy 105, I would get 100 USDT, and then it has my Bifrost wallet address where it would be sent to. $105 total. Total fees would be $4.36. So I haven't signed up yet, so I'm gonna try to sign up real quick. So the country of residence is the United States. I'm in California. Sending me a code. 1 second, guys. All right, got the code. Shout out to Focus. Um, so if you have 10,000 flare, I don't know how much that is worth in dollar terms, but whatever the value is in dollar terms for the flare, need to have the same amount dollar value on the other side of the pair in abscess. So let's say you got $1,000 worth of flare, you would need $1,000 worth of abscess to provide liquidity on both sides. Does that make sense? So now it says, welcome to Topper. To get started, we need to gather some personal details. This is to keep you safe and comply with our regulations. I'm probably going to have to KYC in order to use the on ramp. One second, guys. I got to put in personal information. I'll show you the liquidity pools once I get everything. Once I get everything bridged over, I'll be able to show you the liquidity pools and how to access them. So now it's asking me to provide a debit card. It says it's processing. So it says the order has been placed. So you guys can see it. Let me move this. It says done. Your order has been placed. We're working on delivering your crypto to your wallet as soon as possible. An email has been sent to you with the details of your order. So the payment went through, and I'm just waiting for the USDT to pop up in my wallet. Focus says, is the liquidity pool USDT USD like stablecoin, or is it, for example, Algo liquidity pool token, same value as Flare and Abscess? Um, Well, USDT, USDT is the stable coin, right? One USDT equals $1, right? So if you want to provide liquidity, you got to have equal value of tokens on both sides of the pair. So I'm going to provide $100 worth on both sides of the liquidity pool token pair, right? So I'm going to have $100 in USDT, and then I'm going to take $100 worth of FLR, and I'm going to provide liquidity. This is just a test. Um, Once I get more money, then I'll be able to go all in. But this is, like I said, this is just an example right now, so you can understand how to provide the liquidity. But yeah, eUSDT. It's gonna be eUSDT once I send it across the bridge. And make sure when you buy USDT, you gotta buy USDT on the Ethereum network, because if you look in your wallet, different there's different USDTs that you can buy. So make sure you buy USDT on the Ethereum network, and then that way you can send it across the bridge from Ethereum to the FLR network. So the USDT hasn't popped up in my wallet yet. It says it's being processed. So I don't know how long it's going to take, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. When I read in the tutorial for the Enosys bridge, they said that it could take up to 20 minutes to send your USDT across the bridge. So um, if you send your USDT across the bridge and you're wondering why it hasn't popped up yet, it could take up to 20 minutes. Um, so yeah, I'm testing the process. I mean, I'm testing. I'm waiting for the USDT to pop up in my wallet. Um, I haven't tried it out yet, Lemonade Life, but I'm gonna try it out in this video as soon as I get everything that I need. Um, it is complicated, man. If you don't know about crypto or anything like that, it does take a while to understand. But if people really want to learn, they'll learn. I mean, you have tutorials out there on YouTube. I didn't know what a liquidity pool was. I was nervous about impermanent loss and stuff like that, but the only way to really earn abscess right now is to provide liquidity. So it's like you have no choice. But when you're providing liquidity, it's helping build up the protocol, and you get to earn liquidity pool tokens, and you still get your delegation rewards and your flare drops. So it's like win-win. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't cost a lot of money to send USDT across the bridge, because them Ethereum gas fees can be pretty annoying. But hopefully it doesn't cost too much. You know, hopefully it's not more than $20 to send this $100 across the bridge. Because if it's more than that, then it might not be worth it to send small amounts. You know, you have to send big amounts, because who wants to keep paying multiple gas fees? To keep sending small increments. Yeah. You can swap the shout out to Lemonade. You can swap the flare for eUSDT. The swaps are now open, and you can buy flare and abscess that way if you want to. But yeah, once people trade in and out of the pairs, you'll earn a portion of those fees. in the form of the liquidity pool tokens. So yeah, still waiting on this USDT, man. Um, when I bought on the on ramp, it didn't ask for my ID or nothing like that. It just asked for my name and my address, and just asked me for a credit card number. So I didn't have to necessarily KYC all the way, using the on ramp. So I mean that's pretty cool. I would have had to pull out my license and scan it if I if I had to do all that. I don't think Ethereum's gonna die. I think Ethereum is like a systemically important blockchain in my that's just my opinion. Because everybody's plugged into Ethereum, whether it's Ethereum on their network or they're using the Ethereum virtual machine. So I think is here to stay, but a lot of people are fed up with the gas fees. I'm one of them. I'm not gonna lie, but Ethereum, a lot of people are still building on Ethereum. Um, Ethereum has a lot of liquidity. So what is it, around like $1,500? So I think that Ethereum will be around for a while, even if they get slapped with by the SEC, as an unregistered security. I'm pretty sure the Ethereum Foundation has the money to just pay the fee and move on. But this Ripple case, the Ripple case is a big part of that too, because like they said, Ripple is not just fighting for XRP; they're fighting for the whole space. So if they said XRP is not a security, so XRP itself is not a security. But um, if your company had an ICO, that initial ICO could be considered a security. That's what we have so far um, in the case. So yeah, maybe ETH itself is not a security, but when the Ethereum Foundation held an ICO and allowed people to buy um, ETH, that could be considered a investment contract, which would make ETH an unregistered security. That's what I got from the case. But this case is still ongoing. The SEC says they're planning to appeal, and we'll see how it goes. Um, I think I was listening to Trader University the other day, and he was saying that when Ethereum switched over to proof of stake, um, when people send um, ETH across the network, and it's validated, like a portion of that fee goes to the validators, and another portion like gets burned. So it is deflationary. Focus says if XDC, XRP, and XLM are built on Ethereum virtual machine and are way faster, why would people use expensive Ethereum? Um, that's a good question. But Ethereum, um, like there's a lot of Ethereum bridges out there. Like we have we got Ethereum on Flare. We're gonna have Ethereum on Cosmos, which will allow us to probably use that on Core too. Um, like there's like Ethereum bridges across multiple different chains. So it's like Ethereum does have some utility, but it's like the gas fees. I don't like the gas fees, but like a lot of people are still developing on ETH. But a lot of those developers will probably eventually move to other chains because there's other chains that are faster, more scalable, and cheaper. Like XRP's got the hooks smart contracts, which will allow developers to build DeFi apps on top of the XRP ledger. I just seen an announcement where Algorand is now supporting developers to build in Python code, pure Python, and Algorand is really really cheap and it's fast. So I think a lot of developers will be moving to Algorand as well. But it just it just the free market, if we had a free market and a level playing field, then the market would decide, what's the what's the best blockchain, and then you know whatever that blockchain would be, the developers would most likely want to build on that blockchain. But we don't have a level playing field right now. Thanks to the SEC, and ETHGate and all of that. That's why we're trying to get a level playing field right now. Man, I still haven't gotten my USDT, man. That's crazy. I don't know how long it takes, but shouldn't be that long. I should have just bought ETH. I mean I should have just bought USDT on Coinbase and just sent it directly to my wallet. That probably would have been a lot faster. I might as well get some ETH while I'm just sitting here. Yeah, I believe Ethereum is dinosaur tech too. They just have a lot of backers like Joe Lubin and JP Morgan Chase and all of these disguised whales and stuff. They're Ethereum is like being propped up by the system. You know, and all that's been exposed. But like I said, once we get that level playing field, then the market will decide. The people will decide what's the best blockchain that they want to use, and then the developers will follow. As XRP, like I said, once we get regulation and adoption, then Ripple will be able to scale their RippleNet and on-demand liquidity solutions at large, right? And then XRP will have a lot of liquidity, and that will attract developers. You know, a lot of people when they see that XRP has a high price, the developers will come. That's just my opinion, though. I know, right? XRP would have been a lot faster than this. It's probably gonna take it's probably gonna take 30 minutes to verify on the Ethereum blockchain. That's another thing. Is like that's why Ethereum has a hard time scaling because like the network gets backed up a lot of times when there's a lot of activity on the network. It takes a long time for your Ethereum to be verified on the blockchain and sent to you. Wow, did you guys see this? Coinbase is now allowing you to send USDT across multiple different networks. That's great because at first all they would support is Ethereum, but now you can send USDT from Coinbase across the Polygon network, Avalanche, Optimism, and Solana. But I still want Algorand. When is Coinbase gonna support USDC on Algorand? That's what I want to know. That's pretty cool though. I still haven't gotten my USDT, man. This thing is like dumb slow. Yeah, I think they have USDC running on XDC network, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to Thai Fam. He says Rugbird. I know you don't like Songbird right now, but we're building, man. We gotta keep building. Even though the price is down, we gotta keep going, man. Continue to accumulate, man. I think it's gonna work out in the end. Like a couple years from now or whenever, I'm telling you, institutional money is coming to Flare to Enosys. They're plugged in with Fireblocks, which does institutional custody and trading for financial institutions. So yeah, I sent my Ethereum to my Bifrost wallet. Now I'm waiting for the ETH and the USDT. Okay, so now it says so I got a email from Topper which says my USDT order was complete. Um, it says I received 100 USDT. Let's see if it's in my wallet now. It says it was complete, but I still don't see it in my wallet. No ETH, no no USDT. Not yet. Yeah, man. Those banks. Shout out to Lemonade. Those banks. They're gonna want a piece of that liquidity. A lot of these banks are gonna be looking for yield, and if they can earn a yield in absence, they're gonna do the same thing, and that's gonna um, raise the price of Apsis and probably SFIN too. There's only 11,000 SFIN and only 15,000 Apsis. I mean, the bank could just push the button and buy all 15,000 if they wanted to. If they were on the open market, but they're gonna have to get in here and stake and provide liquidity just like us. It's a level playing field. But us as retail investors, we had first movers advantage, because we were here first. We've been staking on the Songbird network and Flare Farms for over a year now, so we kind of had a head start. But the institutions, they got big money to play with. So I mean, what's stopping them from buying like 1,000 SFIN? There's really nothing stopping them. If they did that all at once, then the SFIN would like shoot up to the moon. I'm all for it. Oh, that's crazy, man. Where Lemonade? Where's the Fireblocks office at? Yeah. I hope that Bifrost is as secure as it is. It's Bifrost has been through like audits and stuff, and according to them, there weren't that many vulnerabilities. Um, there were a couple. They addressed them. Like if you go online, you can find the audit that was done on the Bifrost wallet, and you'll be able to read it. But what they found was, there wasn't that many vulnerabilities. They say that it's pretty secure. So hopefully it stays that way. Man, I'm still waiting on this ETH, man. It's just pending. It's been pending for 5 minutes. Now on the Block Explorer, it says that it was successful, but it's still pending. Oh, they're in Boston. That's cool. Um, Not that far from New York, you know. Fireblocks is like legit, man. They're working with institutions, and former SEC Chairman Jay Clayton is on the board of Fireblocks. All right, focus. I see you, man. I'll try to keep going live, man, when I can. I also want to do a stream on the Wahoo network. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but I want to do that. I want to go over that white paper, and I want to talk about XRP plus. Okay, now, so let's see, completed, huh? Let's see. I'll have to check out that song when I get a chance. So Coinbase says the transaction was complete, but it's still not showing up in my Bifrost wallet. Okay, I just got both of them. So yeah, you see I got the Tether and I got the Ethereum. And you see how long it took? That is why eventually people are gonna get tired of Ethereum. That's crazy, man. I don't know what was that like 20, 30 minutes? I don't know. But so yeah, we got the ETH, we got the Tether. So now let's try to send the the USDT across the bridge to the Flare network. So we're gonna go to the Enosys bridge. Um, Second. As you can see, we're connected now. We're gonna try to send 100. Wow, look at that. Look at the fee. So if I send 100 USDT, I'm only gonna get 99.396 USDT back. That's crazy. I should have bought a little bit more. But since I'm only getting 99 USDT, that means I can only provide $99 worth of flare. But it is what it is, man. This is just an example. So you see the fee down here? The fee is 1.004 USDT to send this $100.40. I think it's basically like 1% of whatever you're sending. Um, that's the fee. The fee is like 1%. It says the maximum transaction, the minimum you can send across is 100 USDT. The maximum is about 100,000 USDT. I wish I had 100,000 USDT, but there's the daily limit is still the daily limit hasn't been reached yet. You can still send 90,391 USDT across the bridge. So let's just go ahead and try to send this real quick. So yeah, it says transaction submitted. Your approval of the $100 USDT has been submitted to the blockchain. So yeah, now we have to wait for the USDT to be sent across the bridge. I said successfully approved. You suggest successfully approved 100 USD to be utilized by the bridge. So yeah, now we gotta wait for the USDT to be sent across the bridge to the Flare network, which said in the tutorial can take up to 20 minutes. I didn't read how much the fee was when I did it, but it looked like it was only like $2 in Ethereum, which is not bad. We just have to wait now. While we wait, have any of you guys like provided liquidity? Have you had any experiences providing liquidity across any other chains? Let me know how it's been going for you, because this is gonna be my first time. It is kind of complicated though. Just trying to explain all this to a normie, like buying USDT. Then you gotta buy a little ETH to cover the gas fees. Then you gotta send it across the bridge to the FLR network. They're gonna be like, what? And then providing liquidity and all that stuff. Liquidity pools. What's a liquidity pool? And all that stuff. It's a lot. While we wait for the USDT to be sent across the bridge, maybe I could play a video for you guys or something. Here's, I'll just play this video right here talking about DeFi being the future of finance. I'll mute my mic real quick, and then after this video is over, I'll come back. Hopefully the USDT will be sent by then.
Be a digital detective. Enroll in the new Google Cybersecurity Certificate to join.
So, what's the future of finance? Is decentralized finance better than the current financial system? What problems does it solve? And does it have a chance to improve or completely replace traditional finance? You'll find answers to these questions in this video. Before we begin, if you want to learn more about decentralized finance and the technology behind it, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and enable all notifications. You can also consider joining us on Patreon and learning even more about DeFi. The financial system that we know today went through decades of technological advances. The earliest attempts to make finance more efficient started as early as the 1920s with the introduction of accounting machines and punch cards. This was followed by the rise of the mainframe computers that significantly sped up the banking system in the 1950s and beyond. The next revolution was the invention of ATMs and credit cards that started being popular in the 1970s. Also in the 1970s, another important element of the financial system, the stock market, started going through a radical transformation. Manual order entries and loud trading pits started being slowly replaced by computers and algorithms. From the 1990s, thanks to the growing adoption of the internet, the computerization of finance got supercharged. Accessing bank accounts, making wire transfers, buying stocks, all of these operations were now possible from the comfort of our own houses. Then comes the fintech revolution. PayPal, Robinhood, TransferWise, Revolut, and other fintech startups understood the tech-first approach known from other non-financial tech companies and offered their users seamless access to financial services. A completely different experience when compared to the clunky banking user interfaces. Despite a century of innovations, the financial system is far from being perfect. Settlement of stocks, bonds, and other financial instruments takes days to clear and requires a massive amount of human capital involved in the process. Key decisions impacting millions, if not billions of people are made behind the closed doors by a group of privileged few. Billion-dollar banking scandals that surface months, if not years after the fact. Massive inefficiencies and high cost when it comes to international banking and remittance services. Unequal access to financial services with billions of unbanked people across the globe. Banks hiring thousands of employees just to keep maintaining inefficient processes and being compliant with ever-changing banking regulations. A super high barrier to entry for the new players, making it almost impossible to start a new financial company without access to the massive amount of capital, stifling innovation. The whole financial infrastructure consists of siloed systems built with proprietary technologies and algorithms that each company has to make from scratch. The beautiful user interfaces provided by fintech companies only cover the fact that the financial system is built on old and inefficient foundations. Something that seems to be instant for the user can take days to fully process behind the scene. On top of that, the backbone of the financial system hasn't evolved much since the mainframe computers were introduced. This is exactly why we need something new, something better, that can address some of these problems. And this is where decentralized finance comes into play. Instead of relying on old and inefficient infrastructure, decentralized finance, or DeFi, leverages the power of cryptography, decentralization, and blockchain to build a new financial system. A system that can provide access to well-known financial services such as payments, lending, borrowing, and trading in a more efficient, fair, and open way. Efficient, as all operations are settled almost immediately. It doesn't matter that counterparties may be in completely different geographic locations with inconsistent laws and regulations. On top of this, most of DeFi protocols can operate with no or minimal human involvement. Fair, as all services are completely permissionless and censorship resistant. Permissionless, as everyone with a browser and the internet connection can access them. There is no document verification, no need to provide income statements. Nationality or race doesn't matter, everyone is treated in the exact same way. Censorship resistant, as no other parties can deny us access to these services. Even multiple bad actors cannot change the rules of a sufficiently decentralized system. Open, as everyone can build a new DeFi application and contribute to the ecosystem. In contrast to traditional finance, new applications can leverage the existing protocols and build on top of existing solutions. On top of that, everything is transparent and visible on the blockchain. Trading volume, number of outstanding loans, total debt, all of these can be reliably checked on the blockchain. Even better, these numbers cannot be tampered with. All of this is possible thanks to the invention of Bitcoin and Ethereum and their underlying technologies. In particular, Ethereum, as a smart contract platform, allows for creating any arbitrary financial applications. Because of these characteristics, Ethereum became a go-to blockchain for the vast majority of DeFi activities. Decentralized finance has recently been experiencing tremendous growth. Some of the key metrics are total value locked in DeFi. This represents the value of all tokens locked in various DeFi protocols, such as lending platforms, decentralized exchanges, or derivatives protocols. This number has grown from less than $1 billion in April 2020 to over $32 billion in February 2021. Another important metric is the trading volume across decentralized exchanges. This figure has grown from around $500 million in April 2020 to over $50 billion in January 2021, a 100x increase. Total value settled on Ethereum has reached over $1 trillion in 2020. This is more than PayPal. And all of this is not only limited to cryptocurrencies that, as we know, can be quite volatile in nature. Stablecoins that track the value of fiat currencies, such as the US dollar, also experienced tremendous growth in the DeFi ecosystem. The market cap of USDC, a popular stablecoin in DeFi, went from less than $1 billion in April 2020 to over $6 billion in 2021. Another one, DAI, went from less than $100 million in April 2020 to almost $2 billion in 2021. Now, to understand the value proposition of decentralized finance even better, let's go through a few common problems in traditional finance and see how they can be addressed in DeFi. But before we do that, if you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, Hit the like button so this kind of content can reach a wider audience. Let's start with the recent situation in the stock market, the famous GameStop saga. After discovering that GameStop stock, GME, was overly shorted by some of the hedge funds, users of a popular Reddit group, Wall Street Bets, started buying GME as they believed this could initiate a short squeeze that would result in hedge funds having to buy back the shorted stock, driving the price higher. At some point, Robinhood and a few other stockbrokers came up with a controversial decision to disable the possibility of selling GME and a few other stocks. A situation like this just wouldn't be possible on a decentralized exchange like Uniswap. There's no one who can disable or alter the trading capabilities of the platform. There is no single authority making decisions on behalf of the users. DeFi democratizes access to trading. This situation exposes another problem: decisions made behind closed doors.
Have you heard of turtle traders? They were a group of 14 novice traders.
A group of people deciding to shut down trading, or maybe a bunch of bankers deciding what the best interest rate is for millions of people. In DeFi, interest rates are adjusted automatically based on the supply, demand, and risk parameters of certain assets that are configured by the protocol. Even if some DeFi lending platforms allow for changing certain risk parameters, all decisions are publicly visible and changes are voted on by multiple people who govern the protocol. What about this problem? Paying 10 to 30% of the value of a bank transfer just to send money across the globe. In DeFi, you can send USD-based stablecoins for a fraction of that cost. Even better, they will arrive in a matter of seconds. With the settlement of different assets measured in seconds instead of days, the counterparty risk is dramatically reduced. Accounting. Every record is publicly available on the blockchain, so accounting becomes super easy and can be most likely completely automated. This can dramatically reduce the human capital needed. Unequal access to financial services. A DeFi protocol doesn't care who you are, it just follows predefined rules that are exactly the same for everybody. Although DeFi presents us with a unique value proposition, it comes with its own challenges. It brings more responsibility to the users, who are now truly owning their assets, so they have to make sure they store them in a secure way. There is not a lot of hand-holding here, especially when interacting with new DeFi protocols. There are still certain regulatory risks, although things like KYC or AML cannot be enforced in the DeFi protocols themselves. The regulator may try to force wallet providers or dev teams responsible for certain protocols to add KYC requirements to their user interfaces. Scaling is another issue that has to be tackled. The popularity of DeFi resulted in a tremendous demand for the block space on Ethereum. This in turn results in high gas fees for the users. It's not uncommon to hear about $10 or even $50 Uniswap transaction costs. Scaling is already being tackled by ETH2 and Layer 2 scaling solutions. You can learn more about it here. Hacks are another challenge of the DeFi space that make using certain protocols, especially the new ones, risky. Various DeFi protocols are also exploring different governance models. However, whales and voters' apathy are some of the common problems here. Uncollateralized loans and mortgages are big areas of traditional finance that are slightly harder to implement in DeFi. Fortunately enough, there are already protocols like Aave exploring different possibilities such as credit delegation and tokenized mortgages. Despite the challenges, DeFi is a unique innovation, a 0 to 1 innovation, and I believe that sorting out some of these challenges is just a matter of time. So what will happen to traditional finance if DeFi keeps innovating and growing at this tremendous pace? Personally, I think that traditional finance will have to adapt quickly, otherwise they are taking a risk of slowly becoming irrelevant. Like with all other big technological changes, they often happen gradually, then suddenly. We'll probably very quickly see some of the incumbents trying to tap into the possibilities of DeFi, for example, by leveraging liquidity or accessing more favorable interest rates in one of the DeFi protocols. This will most likely start with fintech companies that are already involved in crypto, but I wouldn't be surprised to see banks using DeFi in a few years' time. There are also a lot of areas of traditional finance that can significantly benefit from moving into DeFi in the future. As an example, instead of going public on the stock market, companies could issue security tokens and take advantage of globally accessible liquidity. On top of this, people investing in these tokens could lend them out and make an extra yield on their investment, or use them as collateral for taking a loan. It's also very likely that DeFi will become a new backbone of the financial system. With simple user interfaces, most people will probably not even know they're using it, in similarity to how they don't know what is happening under the hood of their traditional trading application. At this point, DeFi will just become finance. More efficient, fair, and open finance. So, what do you think about the future of finance? How big will DeFi become? Comment down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out Finematics on Patreon to join our DeFi community. Thanks for watching.
Success doesn't have to mean getting the corner office. It isn't always climbing the corporate ladder.
I just got my first sale.
So guys, it's been about 15 minutes. I still haven't received the the USDT on the FLR network yet. I'm supposed to check out at this Airbnb at 11. So if it doesn't come across the bridge before like 10:45, I may have to cut this live short, and then when I get it, I'll just make a video when I receive it on the other side of the bridge. I'm still waiting. This is why, a lot of people get tired of Ethereum. It takes too long. Why use Ethereum when the XRP ledger can send something in 4 seconds? Shout out to Lemonade, man. I got some VeChain too. Did you hear that VeChain was listed on Coinbase? That's pretty cool. I don't know. Maybe they'll support VThor too, and people will be able to stake their VeChain directly on Coinbase if they want to. That'd be pretty cool, but it'll gain more exposure for VeChain, but eventually, people are gonna want to pull their VeChain off the exchanges and stake it themselves in their own wallets. But that's pretty cool though, VeChain on Coinbase makes it legit now. A lot of people have been asking for that for a long time. Been asking when VeChain. It finally happened. Still waiting, man. Still waiting. There's one more thing I want to show you about the bridge, though. So yeah, when you see the bridge right here, when you send your Ethereum, you're probably gonna have to input your Flare address right here, because it says you receive it on a different address. You can post your Flare address right here. That way it knows where to send it to. But still waiting, man. Still waiting. Like they said, it could take up to 20 minutes. Shout out to Lemonade, man. I got some V Chain. I'm hoping that V Chain will go back up, man. During the last bull run, V Chain hit like 25 cent, man. My bag was fat. I thought it was gonna keep going. Damn. But with V Chain on Coinbase now, I think this next bull run, like V Chain gonna hit, it's gonna break its all time high. I think. Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at the block explorer. It's been it says it's successful. 72 block confirmations. This was happened like 14 minutes ago. I don't understand what's taking so long. One more thing I want to show you too while we're waiting. You can buy if you go to Oracle Swap, you can buy DFLR on this decentralized exchange. So you can, if you want to buy some DFLR, you can swap Songbird for DFLR if you want to buy a little bit more. So when the airdrop comes in, you'll have a little bit more. You'll be able to get more Helion. I just recently found that out. So the airdrop could happen in the next couple of days, but you could buy some DFLR on Oracle Swap with this decentralized exchange if you wanted to get more, which is pretty cool. You know, the more DFLR you have, the more Helion you will have, and the better position that you will have, staking it in Enosys farms. So yeah, that's cool. Still nothing, man. The tether is gone, but I still haven't received it. Okay, I just got it. You see, I just said something and it just popped up, man. That's crazy. So you can see the Enosys USDT in my wallet now. So now I'm gonna head over to the Flare Dex and try to provide some liquidity, and then that'll be the end of the stream. So it doesn't show the dollar value of the eUSDT right there, but you can see that I got 98.894 USDT. So I'll only be able to provide $98 worth of flare on the other side. So let's go ahead and go to the flare dex. Um, we're going to be connecting to the flare network. Let's see. Oh, you see that in the top corner? The little down arrow right there. We're going to push that, and then we're going to swap over to liquidity. So now we can provide liquidity in the Flare eUSDT pool. And you can see in this pool, down below it, you can see where you can claim your delegation rewards, and you can also claim your monthly Flare drops right here from this liquidity pool. So that's pretty cool, man. So let's go ahead and provide some liquidity. Um, so $98.89 worth of USDT is this balance not enough. Oh, I may need to unwrap my flare. I gotta unwrap my flare because it's not wrap flare in this pool. It's regular flare. That's why. So let me go ahead and do that. And shout out to Will, man. If you want to delegate your flare, you would just click on wrap flare, then select delegate, and then it'll bring you to this menu right here. I'm delegating to two different um, FTSO providers, half with the Bifrost Oracle and the other half with FTSO AU. And I'm going to try to unwrap some flare. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Unwrap. One second, guys. Okay. We unwrap the flare. Now let's go back into this liquidity pool real quick. Oh shit. Flare X. I'm gonna go over here to the liquidity side. We're gonna provide some liquidity. So $98.89 worth of flare, worth of USDT is approximately 8,859 flare on the other side. So it automatically like puts the equal amount on the other side, which is good. So now we just have to approve this. So now the transaction has been submitted, and it says I have successfully approved the eUSDT. Oh, I had to approve it first. Now I can provide liquidity. So that's another transaction. And remember, every time you do a transaction within this protocol, those fees are sent to the APY cloud. So the APY cloud is accumulating fees on the Flare network and the Songbird network now, which is great for us SFIN and Apsys holders. So the transaction has been submitted. It says you have successfully added liquidity to Flare / eUSDT. So as you can see, I have successfully provided liquidity. I got 8.8K Flare on one side of the pool, and I have 98 eUSDT on the other side of the pool. But yeah, this is just an example. When I get more money, I'll be able to provide more liquidity. But in this pool, I will continue to earn delegation rewards, and I will continue to earn the monthly drops. And once I get these liquidity pool tokens, then I'll be able to stake those within Flare Farms so I can start earning Apsys. But yeah, this is just the main thing that I wanted to show you, man, was how to provide liquidity, man. We're going over 2 hours on this stream now. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this stream. And that's the end of the what I was trying to show you guys. So yeah, if you haven't already done so, start providing liquidity. Get ready for the DFLR airdrop, and continue to accumulate. Accumulate that SFIN, accumulate that Apsys. Because once all of it's been dished out, that's it. And once financial institutions step in, they're probably going to buy whatever is left on the open market. So, yeah, man, continue to accumulate. All right, this is RPU, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.